Hello and welcome to a very exciting stand this year. I'm here with Adam. Adam, maybe you'd like to introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about the fantastic midnight mock-up that we have on display here at Paris.
Great, so I'm Adam Goldstein, the founder and CEO of Archer, and we're building the future of aviation, the future of vertical lift. So we have both civil products and defense products. What you see behind me is our civil product, which is called Midnight. It is a piloted aircraft that is designed to carry up to 4 passengers that is used in trips that are less than 100 miles, and with the idea to take people off the ground out of cars on trips that will take them 60 to 90 minutes, put them into the air with trips that will then take them 5 to 10 minutes.
Adam, I know there's been a lot of talk about this in the industry. How do you feel about the moniker flying cars or flying taxis?
The term flying cars is what the people want. They always bring it to me and they're like, we want flying cars. And I think that is the thing that's happened ever since the Jetsons or Back to the Future, all these different type of sci-fi movies. But as you can see, it's a big, more airplane-like. So these aircraft take off and land vertically like helicopters, but then fly forward on a big wing like an airplane. So we call them aircraft, some people call them air taxis, and some people call them flying cars.
Sci-fi, Back to the Future there, but very much rooted in reality in terms of what you've been achieving with your flight testing to date. Talk me through a little bit about where you are with that and where we're looking at potential entry into service.
Yeah, the good news about these aircraft is they're actually quite simple. And so these aircraft are designed with electric engines. And electric engines have very few moving parts. So we have 6 moving parts in our engine. And there's no, it's not a piston or a combustion engine, which is a very complex machine. That allows us to build aircraft that can be very safe or keep the cost down really low and ultimately scale up to a very, very high level. So we began our piloted flight test campaign, which is sort of at the later stage of the process. We've been flying our aircraft autonomously, unmanned for a long time. We've done many flights with these aircrafts before, and it's at the exciting part where we're now starting to take people in them and ultimately with the goal to launch.
The FAA had quite an interesting paper out a couple of months ago, the downwash and outwash study. Have there been any learnings or insights leveraged from that you maybe be looking to implement into your ongoing operations, commercially at least?
Yeah, there have been an incredible amount of studies that the FAA has done, that NASA has done, that the industry has done to learn about these aircraft. This is day one. Okay, this is day one of a new industry. It's like we're back to 1964, the first Boeing 737-100 came out, and it's hard to even imagine what the world will become when you have products like this. And so there are lots of technical learnings that we have absorbed and lots of implementations that we have made changes, but all of it is rooted in creating a product that has a great customer experience that can be very, very safe.
And obviously we're looking at the UAE as potential, maybe early market adopter. Quite a hot environment out there. It's hot out here at Paris today, but it's a little bit different. How does the heat and battery handling kind of interact?
So we've designed these systems to have certain different heat limits and cooling capabilities. And so a lot of the engineering work that's done to keep aircraft cool has been done for long periods of time. And so there's pretty deep understandings in how to design aircraft that way. But the customer experience, I think, is actually a very important part of this discussion too. So on very hot days, it's very important to have enough air conditioning in these aircraft to make them enjoyable. So you may save somebody a lot of time, but if they're super hot, they will not be happy and will not want to take the aircraft. So it's a multi-dimensional problem that Archer's working on, the industry's working on, but luckily there's a lot of history in this field.
But as you've mentioned, Adam, the civil commercial use is only one element of a business that now spans what looks to be potentially quite a sizable defense sector for you as well.
I think the defense industry is going to be quite large with new autonomous attritable aircraft. As we watch the news every day, more and more it's clear that drones are becoming a bigger part of the solutions. And so Archer announced a partnership with Anduril where we are building a hybrid VTOL product and more to come on that soon.
Any more details you're able to share about the hybrid, or have journalists been asking you this all week and that's very much still a work in progress?
So we haven't shared too many details on that. We were recently in London working with the supply base there, as I think it's going to be really important, not just for the U.S. but also the allies, that these new types of aircraft can be built, and that we can add a new type of capability into the defence industry.
And speaking of the UK and Anduril, a new UK partnership announced with Anduril Industries UK. Talk us a little bit more through about that, what might mean.
Yeah, so Archer has a deep history of building these vertical takeoff and landing aircraft. And so Anduril has a deep history of working in the defense industries. And so by coming together, we have an ability to create new products that can leverage a lot of the products we've already built, the electric powertrain, a lot of the aircraft capabilities, the flight controls, and a bunch of the other systems that have allowed us to build really this new type of aircraft. And so I think you're going to see a lot more about the defense side of this industry come up, and more to come on that soon.
And we could be moving towards cargo missions as well, autonomous missions. Quite a different way of working to the passenger thing that we've seen.
Yes, there are definitely capabilities, opportunities in cargo, in contested logistics, in lots of different use cases. It's day one. And so it's like somebody gave you an iPhone and said, hey, here's a new product that, you can do music, you can do the internet, you can do email, but it was hard to imagine what would become 10 years, 20 years later from those products. That's what's happening here. New product that we're introducing that has a lot of different use cases, a lot of different capabilities, but it's hard to imagine what the ultimate products will be. But I think in some period of time, whether it's 10 years, 20 years, or 30 years, I do think there will be highways in the sky.
I mean, we're looking at back-to-back flights of, I think you've said 20 to 50 miles. Are you expecting the defence logistics to be benefiting from an extended range, or is that sort of your projected entry into service range for that sector?
Yeah, so what we've announced is we're building a hybrid product, which means the performance capabilities will be substantially greater than what you're seeing on the all-electric product.
And could we be seeing an autonomous platform, defence-focused initially at first, maybe feeding back into civilian passenger use? Or do you think there will always be a pilot on board in that sort of circumstance?
Yeah, I do think ultimately there will be autonomous applications used on the civil side. Whether that's 1 year or 10 years is hard to predict, but we're certainly working on it, and I think there's a lot of lessons that will be learned on the defense side that will be used back in the civil side.
Because Archer has got quite the history of defence innovation and partnerships going from your DoD AFWorks days. What lessons could be leveraged from insights maybe gleaned there to ongoing operations?
The AFWorks program was a foundational program that really helped fund a lot of the core research to get the industry going. And that wasn't just an Archer thing, that was an industry-wide thing. So you saw that really take place across many different companies. Lots of the technologies were worked on and built. And so great support from the Defense Department in building a lot of the core R&D that we've leveraged today to ultimately commercialize. So I expect that to continue, and I think it's been a huge part of our success.
The recent Donald Trump order, there's been a lot of excitement in the industry about that announcement. Talk me through Archer's perspective.
So President Trump and the White House put out an executive order that was really highlighting their focus and attention on this industry, as well as drones and other parts of kind of the new aviation industry. And I do think that was a really big deal, because what they're saying is that this is important to America. This is something that we'll be focused on. And it was a signal, I think, to the world to say that it's an advanced industry that's real and that's here, and that's important to this administration.
Absolutely. And what would you say to the naysayers within our industry and within our sort of wider community that say, this is too futuristic, this is too sci-fi, this will never take off?
I didn't think there were any naysayers.
Well, that's what we're working on, right?
Yeah. Whenever you have a new product, there's always going to be people that get really excited about it and believe. And I'm someone who likes to look at the world from an optimistic standpoint. My whole concept is I am trying to build the future that I want to live in. And so what I would say is they should grab a shovel and start digging themselves too, join the revolution, and come on board, and let's change the world.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
I'm looking forward to seeing the next 6-12 months and what the future brings for you as well.
Perfect. Thanks so much.
Thanks for your time, Adam.
Alrighty, thank you.